Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
The Ramble with Alex Bennett, tonight at 10:30 Eastern on GabNet.
Hi, everybody. This is Alex Bennett, and I've had a long and interesting trip. It's called life. And for years, people have demanded that I write a book about it, and while I've been a writer, my main talent has always been that of a broadcaster. Over a year ago, I decided not to write the book, but using my best skill, I decided to tell it. It's called Life in the Passing Lane, and I described it as an audio biography. It's presented in 30-minute chapters, so it's easy to binge listen. And you can access it on the GabNet page by clicking on Life in the Passing Lane and going to a page with every single episode, plus some extras. If you want to access it on your mobile device, that's easy too. It's on iTunes. It's Life in the Passing Lane, an audio biography by me. I'm Alex Bennett.
Jack Bishop's Intersection, tonight at midnight Eastern on GabNet.
Now more than ever, it's a breeze to listen to all that GabNet has to offer. Just go to gabnet.net, and along the top of our easy-to-use webpage are a series of links to all the services that carry our latest offerings. Click on YouTube, Facebook, and Vimeo, and you'll be taken to video of Alex Bennett's Ramble. Tap on TuneIn, and you'll go to our 24/7 feed of all our programs, plus a real-time stream when our shows are live. For those of you who have a Roku device, click and you'll be taken to a page that will install our GabNet app, so you can enjoy our channel, which is rich with features that go well beyond our daily programs. Then, for archives of all our recent shows, press the Spotify, Pandora, or Stitcher tabs. Finally, Alex Bennett can be heard via the iHeart button. But if you're not at your computer, just download the app for any of these services and you'll find us there. Mobile. Of course, all GabNet shows are on iTunes. With all these options, you have no excuse not to listen to GabNet, unless you'd rather listen to one of those millions of other people who have podcasts, in which case you can blow me. In 2013, after 9 years, Alex Bennett got let go by SiriusXM satellite radio for reasons yet to be known. Was it his salary? Was it his advancing years? Or did he just suck? The truth will never be known. Last year, SiriusXM, knowing that their old and rusting satellites were yesterday's technology, bought into the internet by taking over the streaming service Pandora. Well, we suppose that Alex has finally snuck his way back into the SiriusXM orbit, presenting Alex Bennett's Ramble on Pandora. Get Pandora and get Alex, but don't tell SiriusXM. If they know he's there, they might dump him again. The Ramble from GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before. Who is Damian Chaplin? To begin with, he's host of the second oldest program on GabNet, doing The Exchange since 2014, 4 days a week for 25 minutes each night. Now, that has all changed. Welcome to the new Exchange. 1 day a week, but now for a full hour, or longer if he wishes. You see, there are no other programs on Monday night, his new slot, so he's all alone and can do whatever the hell he pleases. Of course, with no other GabNet offerings on that night, you might forget he's there. Well, don't, damn it. It's an immersive, interesting, and informative fare that's worth going out of your way to hear. Plus, he needs you to fill out his citizen panel. Damian Chaplin's new day and time are, now jot this down, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, that's Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The Exchange with Damian Chaplin, the loneliest man on GabNet. By the way, did I say Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time? GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19.
Furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this podcast.
Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, that's me. I'm Alex. See, big red letters. The Ramble. That's the name of the program. We're here until midnight on the East Coast of the United States, broadcasting to all of you. Broadcasting, narrowcasting, hardly casting at all if you judge by the amount of people who've been, listening to the program in the last week or so. It's been slow. I guess everybody's just pooped. Everybody's exhausted, anyway, and I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted by just every little thing, just right. Let me tell you what happened to me today. Okay. First of all, I am supposed to get my COVID shot today. It was time for me to get it, right? Yeah, I signed up for it, and they said to come the 20th and whatever. And if I were to read you what they wrote, let me just read this, because it's important that you know what they wrote me. It says here, okay, you must complete additional screening questions before your appointment. But on the day of the appointment, you will be getting wait a minute, is this the one I want? Yeah, this is it. Yeah. This is a reminder of your appointment. Oh, okay, wait a minute, hold on a second. There's another one. Wait a minute, I got to go down here. Here's the one that I want to read you. So anyway, they say, this email confirms your appointment with the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene COVID-19 Vaccine Hub. Okay, and then it goes on to say when it is, and it was today, and at 1:10 p.m. and whatever. Now what they go and they say, you'll receive a reminder email on the morning of your appointment with additional screening questions. Now, as though there weren't enough screening questions already on this damn thing, they're going to send me more questions to answer, and then you'll get a QR code, a scannable barcode. And if you have not answered the additional questions or received the QR code, your appointment may be delayed. All right? Wear face covering, blah, 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 blah. Arrive, now here's the part. Arrive no more than 5 minutes prior to your scheduled appointment. You will not be admitted to the site until just before the time of your scheduled appointment. There will be no space for people who arrive early, and you will not be able to wait at the site. This will be strictly enforced. And then it says, please bring your QR code or your appointment ID number to be admitted to the site. You got it? We are admonished not to show up 5 minutes before we're supposed to be there. So, what did we do today? Our appointment was at 1:10. We left the house at about 1:15. We got there about 10 minutes early. But, we weren't going inside, so it didn't matter. In fact, we weren't going inside for quite a while.
Want to do a little video?
Yeah, I am.
Oh.
Yeah,
well, here we are, once again in the same line that we were here for early voting. But early voting went fast.
Yeah.
We are just standing here waiting outside in below 37 degrees.
Yeah.
And there's snow every once in a while.
And by the way, it's seniors that get these, or,
Yeah.
And seniors love standing out in the cold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if they don't have a wheelchair or a walker.
The problem is we're probably going to get pneumonia before we get COVID.
Oh, boy. Or they'll run out of COVID as soon as we get there.
But look at that, and this just goes to the corner.
This is a clusterfuck.
Yeah. And you came where? From the Bronx?
No, from the Bronx. Oh, from the Bronx.
From the Bronx.
My girlfriend went up to the Bronx for her shot.
Yeah.
She said it was easy. She got out of the car.
Yeah. Well, the Mayor de Blasio strikes again.
And Como.
Yeah. What are you doing? Texting everybody you know?
I'm texting a few people I know.
Yeah. Look at that line.
Our early voting line when they're...
Well, actually, the line goes back to where we started.
We did early voting. We went this way.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, unless it's a corner.
Oh, boy. It just keeps going, 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 going. Look at that. But that's where we're going. This is just amazing. Is this any way to treat old people?
No, it's not a good way to treat old people. And I want a wheelchair with a motor.
Yeah.
So I can ram into people.
Right, right. Look at that, folks. Just goes on and on and on and on. I actually went home and got a warmer jacket. I came back and Marjorie had only moved 5 feet.
And I'm freezing. And I should have told her to bring back a blanket.
And she's over a grate here, hoping that there's heat coming up.
There's a little heat coming up.
There's a little
You
bit.
feel it? Drop. Yeah, but
And by the way, this goes down, then over a whole block, and then up about this far on the other side of the block.
yeah, just like early.
Marjorie, we're almost there.
Yeah, like another half an hour.
Yeah, another half an hour.
Be inside.
Yeah.
Be inside. And then
Once we get in the doors there's probably 5,000 people on the inside.
I don't care because there's heat on the inside. There's heat on the inside.
There's heat on the inside. Oh boy. You having fun?
Huh?
You having fun?
I'm having a lot of fun. Don't I look it?
Yeah, it's all over your face.
I'm freezing.
We're inside now.
Yeah, I don't know what I did with those papers.
You can't take pictures.
Okay. So now we're just sitting here.
So, just in case we don't faint or die.
Yeah. This is where you sit and wait and so that if you have anaphylactic. Oh, I'm having anaphylactic shock. Excuse me.
Jesus.
What are they yelling at?
Fucking lady. They got in line.
So anyway, we sit and wait, but we got our first shot,
Shut the fuck up,
and our
lady.
our next shot is about 5 weeks away, isn't it?
I'll call you when I get home.
Next shot's about 5 weeks away. Oh well. How do you feel?
I'm freezing.
We got a COVID shot.
We got a COVID shot.
Huh? We got a COVID
We
shot.
got a COVID shot.
We're only 50% though.
Yeah, but it's over.
50%. Look at all these people are going to have to wait for the next 7 hours. 7 hours they're going to have to wait.
God.
Actually, we only had to wait 2 hours.
Yeah, but 2 hours in this cold is hard.
Yeah, but 2 hours is all we had to wait.
Yeah.
These people are going to have to wait 3.
Well, let's see what's around the corner. Didn't you want your glove?
Yeah. Hold on to it for a second. Let's just see what it's sort of like around the corner here. This is kind of, I could have, actually, instead of running this video, I could just run our election video to the same effect. Well,
We waited 2 hours. These guys are at least another hour.
good luck, folks.
Huh?
Good luck. Well, anyway.
It's over. We got our shot.
We're 50%.
We're 50% covered.
Yeah, and then we get 20, but about 5 weeks we get the next one.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, it's over.
Oh, God.
Anyway, that's what happened. By the way, excuse the fast editing. I had to edit that thing really fast tonight, and somehow that thing said subtitles and stuff there. Forget about it. You don't mind. You get the idea. That's what we had to go through today, just to get the shot. Now, I want to remind you that they said in their email, to me, arrive no more than 5 minutes prior to your scheduled appointment. Why? So I can wait for 2 hours? I mean, this was ridiculous. And then they said to me, well, we had a little problem. We got a late start this morning. Really? You got a late start? What kind of inefficiency is that? Now also they say, you will receive a reminder on the morning of your appointment with additional screening questions you have to complete so you can get that QR code, right? So I'm worried for a week. You know me, I'm worried for a week. I'm not going to get that email that somehow it's going to go into my spam or something and I'll miss it. And it turns out that I wake up in the morning and they not only send me that email, they send it to me, are you ready for this? 19 times. Yeah, 19 times. What the fuck is going on with this city? I mean, we did get our shot. Okay, we got the shots in this arm. They say some people say the arm hurts afterwards. Mine doesn't hurt at all, But I mean, it's a killer. It really is. And I think about old people, of which I count myself as one of them, but I still have a certain amount of my wits about me, and I know how these things operate, and I know about email and where to look for email if you don't get it, and but if you're old and have to go through this whole thing, to begin with, just standing out there in that freezing cold for 2 hours to get a shot is uncalled for. I said to the woman when she came by, I said, there's a bigger chance I'm going to get pneumonia than COVID, okay? That I may just die from getting pneumonia from standing out here. I mean, it was unrelentingly cold. And you should say, well, don't gripe, you got your shot. Well, now I got to get the second one. And you know what I had to go through to do that? The guy told me at the thing, here, just let's go to the site, and you do it on my phone. And here, you answer this and answer this and answer this. Okay, it says there you're ready to go for like 3:10 on the 27th. Now that's over 5 weeks away. Okay, I say okay, over 5 weeks away. And I then go home and I find that it didn't take because he forgot to tell me to push a button that said make appointment. And he did the same thing to Marjorie. She didn't push make appointment, so we didn't have appointments. So I rushed on there and I got us appointments for a couple of hours later, about an hour later on the 27th. But I mean, just things like that. I mean, come on. What they should do is once you get the shot, they type into a computer and they just say, okay, now you're scheduled to come back here. Is it okay on this date at this time? And then you go, yeah, that sounds good to me. Rather than allowing me to even leave the place and have to go home and perhaps try to figure out how to do this whole thing and not be able to accomplish it. I mean, I'm talking about not me, but other people. And then giving up on the whole thing and not getting the second shot. It is, I mean, I thought you would, when you went there, after it was all over, they would just give you a little, thing and say, okay, you're good to go now for your next appointment because you made this appointment is going to be then. No way. So, I mean, it is the world's biggest clusterfuck. Now, to add to that, my friend Shecky, as you know, had an appointment for tomorrow at one of the city hubs, very similar to what we went to today. And he got a thing this morning saying, we're going to have to cancel your appointment because we've run out of vaccine. So we're moving your appointment to next week. Who knows if they'll have the vaccine next week? What this city is doing is so stupid, and so is the governor. They're all massive morons when it comes to this thing. What they're doing is they don't have enough vaccine to go around. They were supposed to get 300,000 doses. They got 250,000 this week. Okay? All right. Blame that on the government. But what you don't do is open up more places to give the shots out. Every day they're saying we have another 20 more places you can go, and we've got Met Stadium, and they're going to be 24/7. Hey, what are you saying that for? You can't take care of the places that are already opened. So why are you suddenly siphoning people into all these other places? And then the governor is doing things like taking some of the vaccine and sending it down to Javits Center because that's one of his places, and depriving Mount Sinai, which is a hospital, from being able to give it to their patients. It is insane what's happening in this state. Now, let's contrast that with California, okay? California, I hear from Kevin and a lot of other people who are out in California that they just go down, they went to the place, they made an appointment, they go down there, they drive down there. I think maybe some are drive-ins. You stick your arm out the window and they give you the shot. That's simple. And Kevin said he was in and out in no time flat. Now, how come California can pull it off, but New York can't? It's because we got a governor who's trying to make himself look good by saying, I just opened up the Met Stadium. We're going to be there 24/7 giving out shots. Oh, we want to get out so many shots in a given week. Yeah, but do you have the vaccine? Well, no. So why are you suddenly driving people to do this? Okay. So anyway, plus I'm tired. I'm tired from waiting out there, and I'm tired because I didn't get enough sleep last night, because when I woke up about 8 o'clock, Marjorie said, oh, we got the email, so I had to go see it immediately. And I go into my thing here, and I've got literally 19 emails, the same email over and over and over and over again. Ah, God. Oh, it was horrid. It was just horrid. And then, of course, after, waiting that long, you get the shot. And I got the shot from some woman who didn't even know what I had to do afterwards, okay? I got that information from another person that Marjorie was dealing with. And and then we had to sit there for like 15 minutes or so. But anyway, I'm exhausted, I'm tired. And no, Tony, I'm not tired because of the COVID shot. I don't think. There are things that can happen. I mean, you can get tired and get some fatigue, and I don't know. But it basically, it's nothing after the fact. I'm just exhausted from having gone through all of that. And I got to do this again. Now when we go back, I got a 4:20 appointment. She's got a 4:40 appointment. And we don't know how long we're going to have to stand out there. It could be that by that time they'll get their shit together, and about a day before, I'm going to go out there and look and see how long the line is. And if it's really long, then we'll go down a great deal earlier. But I don't want them saying to us, well, you had a late day appointment. We've run out of time. We want to go home. And my hat's off, by the way, to the people who are running the place. They're doing the best they can under the circumstances. But something's going wrong, and something is not happening right. So I wrote a nasty letter to the city, to the mayor. And I doubt if I will ever hear back from him. Let me tell you one other thing that got to me. in the last 24 hours. As you know, I was bidding for the URL gabnet.com. Not that I ever intended to use it, I just didn't want anybody else to have it. I've got gabnet.net. I've built some goodwill around this, or bad will, or no will at all. I really I wanted to get it. So I was bidding on it, and all of a sudden somebody bid like, $700, and everybody else dropped out, and so did I. I wasn't going to pay that much money. I mean, I've got gabnet.net. It sounds nice. It works well. Nobody complains about it. I've never had it get confused once, okay? In fact, you might get more confused with gabnet.com because the net is at the end of the word. Anyway, I get this thing, and it says, would you like to buy it? So I go, okay, I want to check this out just to hear what they got to say. And it's this company called Internick or something like that. But the guy's email address is an @godaddy.com. And the stationery has GoDaddy at the top and then two other companies listed at the top. And I'm just beginning to think there's something really hinky going on there where GoDaddy sees a URL and they see that it isn't really going for a lot of money. So what they do is they raise their price so everybody else drops out. They buy it and then they go out themselves under a secondary company and sell it. And I consider that wrong. So I think I'm going to get a letter out to some of the officials in our government about it. It's things like that that are getting to me. The only thing that really was nice was today watching the inauguration. I figured it'd be just kind of a dull affair, but it was just so nice. And the thing they did last night, for the COVID dead, and then the thing the shortest speech probably I can remember in recent memory of a president-elect giving at his inauguration. The only one I remember that maybe shorter than, I think it was only like about 15 minutes. And I think the only one shorter than that was maybe Roosevelt's in his fourth term, because it was in the middle of World War II, and he didn't want to really have a big to-do going on. He felt that would be in bad taste. But it was really nice, and Lady Gaga sang the Star-Spangled Banner and didn't do it with too many flourishes and really did it well, although the dress she was wearing had something to be desired. She wore this dress that made her look like a giant tomato. So that didn't Marjorie didn't like that. I said, well, at least you didn't dress up using roast beef and salami, So, and then this girl, I can't remember her name now. What is her name? I had it here and then I lost it. What is it? The student? They call her student or junior poet laureate of the United States, and she was wonderful. She was like the star of the show. She really was. They loved it. Alan says, "Is there a show today?" Of course there is, Alan. What's this? Why? Because I'm talking till. Okay, we'll just that's your form of griping, then we'll let everybody in here, and go to the Zoom. Let's see here. Let me see the Zoom panel. There they go. They're coming up. Trucker Steve's there, and Alan's there, Charlie Wallace, and Jeffrey, and I'm really tired tonight. And no, Tony, it's not because of COVID. Okay, not because of the shot. Tony kept nagging me. Did you get the shot yet? Did you get it yet? You're going to get it. You're going to get it? You got it yet? And I finally had to write him back and said, will you quit asking me? I haven't got it yet, okay? I mean, I'm glad he was concerned.
Fucking New Yorkers have nothing better to
But
do.
then he writes me and he's going, you're going to get a headache and you're going to get tired and you're going to get
Everybody
fatigued.
gets different symptoms.
I mean, I'm fatigued tonight because I went through a pretty exhausting day and I didn't have that much sleep last night. So, and I hope I do get sick for a day. Then I can take the day off here. But I'm not getting sick and I'm feeling.
I was listening to you ramble, wondering if you were going to have a show. Oh, shit.
Are we drinking? I thought we're drinking tonight.
Oh, you know something?
I already have half the bottle done.
Wait a minute. Well, I'm gonna do Snapple. I do have some champagne here,
Whoa.
but I'm not a big champagne drinker. It'd be wasted on me. And Marjorie said, you can open it up. What have you got there, Trucker Steve? See, he can't even drink because he's on the road.
I'm gonna drive. I can't drink. No.
Right.
And Brian's drinking Mom's $12 bottle of California sparkling wine.
Yeah, but it's my fourth bottle already. So
okay, there you go.
I've been crying all day with Charlie.
Yep. I still tear up thinking about it.
That poet, she was off the hook. Yeah. She was man. She.
I believe she's only 22. Geez.
Yeah. She was very good.
I thought she was like 15. I mean, she looked
real young. Yeah.
Really young.
She was 14.
Yeah. But she was fine. She was really good. But did you see what I had here? Wait a minute, let me go to my Facebook page here. I think you can probably see this because this is kind of funny. This is a picture they took today. It's a very good picture of what's his name of Trump, and he just arrived at Mar-a-Lago and decided to hit the beach. So,
I saw your picture.
Close your eyes now. You can never unsee it. It'll be ingrained in your head forever.
Let's see the picture.
That picture.
Isn't that great? They can't see it unless they look at the show.
Good. We don't want to see it.
Yeah. I don't know who that is, but it's a funny picture.
I think the sand is not sticking to his ass because they got anti-monkey butt on it.
Oh my God.
By the way, this program is brought to you by Monkey Butt.
Anti-monkey butt.
Yes, orangutan butt.
Yeah, the Trucker Steve is holding it up for everybody.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got it.
Pretty.
Hope you don't bring up your dinner.
Let me see here. So anyway, so it was so anyway. So I had my shot today, and it was. I mean, come on, if you're saying 65 and over, and then you're making people wait 2 hours in the cold, there's something just obscene about that.
I'm getting mine Saturday.
Really? Hold on a second, Jeffrey. What?
I found out something incredibly different.
What?
Somebody else who I know, her and her husband, who are under 65, they got their shots in Connecticut today.
How?
Sneaky. They run at the end of the day. In certain places, they run out. They run out, right?
Yeah, right.
There's also some that have some left over.
That's right.
So their friend who happens to run the joint calls her up and says, I got some extra injections. If you're here in 10 seconds, I'll give you your shots. And she got them.
Isn't there something illegal about that?
I
ought to be.
I'm not an attorney.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is that I was sitting there watching my email because I was working on something, and the message pops up. Hey, we got a vaccine. Come on and schedule an appointment out. I came on. I tried to get one for tomorrow. All those are filled up. I tried to get one for Friday. All those are filled up. I jumped to Saturday and just barely got one Saturday afternoon.
Really? Are you sure it's real?
They sent me an email with a barcode and everything, so I think it's real.
Yeah,
but I'm saying the thing that was...
hey, the best thing about my barcode, they never once asked for the barcode.
Oh, wonderful.
Never once. They said, by the way, don't forget, we're going to be sending you an email, and then you got to download the barcode. And then when I tried to print it, I couldn't because it printed it half on one page, half on the other. Yeah. You know?
Oh, no.
Did you have to show them your driver's license?
So I then had to kind of cut it out, you know, and then do it. And I printed it up, and I go over there. I've got everything, right? Do you need the barcode? No. What did you ask for the barcode for? They didn't even have, it's one of those QR codes, right? They didn't even have a QR code reader.
So it was just...
And by the way, I took my QR reader from my phone, and hi there, Vernon's drinking. He's happy tonight. and we, what was it? So I used the QR thing to read the code to see what it said. It was the ID number I had on the page.
Yeah. So it was just camouflage.
Yeah, I mean, geez almighty. I mean, why put us through this whole rigmarole? Just say, you have an appointment for such and such a time. Show up. Hopefully, we'll be able to get you in a reasonable amount of time.
Why don't you go to the front of the line and tell them you're Alex Bennett?
Right. There you go.
Because they would look at me and go, who?
Who?
Who are you?
So what's to stop you from showing up like 2 hours before your, 10 hours? I mean, it's 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're going to go for this other one. We're going to go 3 o'clock in the afternoon if it looks like there's a line or whatever. And we're just going to say, when we show up, well, last time we were here, we waited for 2 hours, so you take us now. Yes, Alan.
Did you get the Moderna?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. It's because this was a school. I doubt if they have the kind of freezers you need for the Pfizer, So.
Moderna has to be below 0 too, so just
no,
not as far.
No, it can be, but it can be in a refrigerator. It can be in a freezer and refrigerator
For a couple hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have something to show off that's appropriate for Trump. Mm-hmm. I don't know how well you can see this. It's a little statue. It's got a hat. It says "Make America Great" on it.
Mm-hmm.
The other side, and then the back side's the best because it's a pin holder that I've had for years. I forgot about. So I thought, since you're not getting my jokes, I thought I would show you Trump.
Yeah, that's very, very good.
I wish I had a good camera on this damn computer. But yeah, there you go.
Getting back to this thing, I just think it's unconscionable that they did this because of just people who are old people. I mean, like, I'm an old guy, I don't want to sit out there freezing my ass off. And I mean, there were older people than me in line,
Wow.
How was the crowd?
Well, there were young people there too, but there were people who there was a woman who was younger than us in line, and I said, "What's the reason you're here?" And she says, I take care of some people. I take care of a health care provider." Yeah. So of course, go right ahead. Just
like prison. What are you here for?
Yeah, what are you in for? Well, I mean,
you're young. What are you here for?
I just, I was just, I don't know.
Did you get your free coupons for denture cream?
No, they didn't have any little prizes. When we went, the same place we went to vote, and by the way, that was a faster process. But that was a faster process. But so it was the same place we went to vote, which is cool. What's the point I'm trying to make? Because I'm loopy tonight. But it didn't go that fast. It went, that took us about maybe 45 minutes, an hour tops. It's 2 hours for this thing. 2 hours, most of it out in the cold.
How many people were shooting up at the time?
Well, they had a whole bunch of people doing the shooting up.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they were. It's just amazing they couldn't go faster.
Yeah.
And my feeling is, if you're the city and you say, okay, out at this school, it's going very slowly, we got them backed up around. I mean, literally, it was. And if you don't know New York, then you don't know what I'm saying. But it was about a third into the block, maybe a half into the block, was the school. Okay, then it all went down to the corner, then around to the other street, down the whole street, and back again to about the same place on the other street. Okay? By the time we left. And I think that was maybe, for those people, maybe a 3-hour wait.
Wow.
The ones you told it was 7 hours?
Huh? Yeah.
You were telling them 7 hours.
Oh, what a prick.
I said to the woman, I said, my chances of getting a pneumonia are my chances of getting COVID are less than my chances that I'm going to get pneumonia trying to get the COVID shot. It was really pathetic, just terrible, just horrible. Well, you guys talk. I'm tired. I know, Tony. I've got fatigue from the shot. No, my arm isn't even hurting.
They say that you need 12 to 24 hours for side effects. So.
What's this?
Oh, well, good. That's good to know. Thank you, Alan. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes, Vernon. What happened to your hand?
Oh, that's just one of those compression gloves. I've got a little arthritis in that thumb, and so that compression glove makes it feel better.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Copper?
One of those,
Yeah.
the Tommy
Copper
Copper.
things?
Tommy Copper.
Oh,
It
yeah,
has
really?
the fingertips are open, so I can still use my touchscreen.
Oh.
But anyway, what I wanted to mention is our beloved state, represented by Rand Paul and Mitch McConnell. Rand Paul, by the way, was one of the 6 who voted against Avril Haines, the new director of national intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And he was only one. And Mitch McConnell voted for her. But our state legislature has supermajorities in both the House and the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
And House Bill number 1 in the new session basically says that businesses, churches, nonprofits can stay open as long as they follow CDC guidelines or the executive branch, whichever is least restrictive.
Least?
Yeah. In other words, Republicans are supposed to be all about states' rights. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're saying the federal agency takes precedent over the state's governor because the governor is a Democrat.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Always like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're fucking hypocrites.
Now he's going to veto it. They're going to override it. Then they're going to go to court that it might be unconstitutional against the state constitution for them to tie the governor's hands like that.
Wow. Well, that's
This
not.
guy apparently is a well-qualified person, right?
Well, he's the son of a former governor, and he was the attorney general before he became governor.
Well, let me bring up something to you that kind of, gets to me in a way. Look, Mitch McConnell's an asshole. We all know that. He almost prided himself in his assholeness. He relished in it. All right? Okay, that being the case, Mitch McConnell in the last couple of weeks has suddenly done a 180. Okay? And he's being cooperative with Biden, and he's doing a whole bunch of what we would call positive things. Well, people get on MSNBC and they go, well, where was he all these years? Well, no, he was an asshole all these years, but now that he's being good, isn't positive reinforcement a good idea? Like, good, Mitch. Very nice of you, Mitch. Thank you for doing that. You've been
Send him a flower.
You've been
It wouldn't matter.
You've been a piece of
Welcome.
shit. Well, you've been a piece of shit for all these years, but at least you're doing something right. Now continue doing stuff right, and we'll keep patting you on your little head.
Because he doesn't have any power anymore. Who cares?
Well, the point I'm making here is that I think that we have a tendency when people change their ways for whatever reason, and when they've been just disgusting for years, that we all of a sudden get suspicious, like, oh well, they can't do something nice. It's not possible. But Mitch McConnell, the last couple of days, has done some very decent things. You know, I mean, he said he's for the impeachment.
Yeah, but Alex, the only reason he's for that is because he's seeing all these corporate money donors drying up because of Trump. So he's just changed his tune because he sees the money driving up.
I don't know that
all the money.
I don't know that he cares about that because number one, I don't think Mitch McConnell is going to stay out his latest term. I honestly think that he's gotten now that he's no longer Speaker of the
Majority
Leader of the Senate. I think he's tired of the game, and I think he will probably resign in a couple of years and give it to somebody else. You
can only hope.
Well, you can only hope, or the guy might give it to might be a bigger asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know how long his term is right now?
He was just reelected. He was just reelected.
So he's got 6 years.
So he's got 6 years, unless he resigns before that time, in which case the governor has 3 more years left. He could appoint a replacement.
Yeah.
And it would be a Democrat.
It would be a Democrat. Huh?
Yeah.
I'm all for them replacing somebody with somebody of the same flavor. You know, because that's as it was intended by the people of the state. I mean, if you take something like Mitch McConnell, he says, "I no longer want to be senator," and the Democratic governor says, "Okay, I'm appointing a Democrat." Is that really what the people voted for? Is that in the spirit of what they voted for? I'm just asking questions here. I don't.
Yeah, it won't matter.
I really
don't matter because it's the people voted for a Democrat governor, so they get he's got the power. They gave the power to him to appoint a senator.
I guess
Yeah, but somebody has the opportunity to make decisions.
Yeah,
and they can go with positive or negative.
Yeah, but politics enters into it. Look at some of the people who could have
been
put.
A guy's retiring and he's leaving. And he goes, "Oh, yeah, but I'm leaving early. So I want so-and-so to replace me." What are you going to do?
That may not have any weight, though, with politics being as bipolar as it is right now.
But he may get that job.
Yeah, well, of course, we all know that Kamala Harris is a quitter.
That's right.
Yeah, she quit.
She quit when she quit yesterday, right? Was it yesterday? Day before yesterday?
I think it was.
I didn't know Joe Biden was a coach in the NBA. He's coaching the San Antonio Spurs tonight.
Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he said another Joe Biden, right?
Must be.
Well, that's not Joe Biden?
If there's a joke there, I don't get it because
I don't
either.
The guy who coaches San Antonio Spurs is a spitting image of Joe Biden.
Oh, okay.
Popovich?
Yeah, Popovich, yeah.
Yeah, but nobody cares about the Spurs, so why would we care about
Playing the Warriors, I was just watching it. I thought, hey, that looks like.
And if you had asked me who's the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs, I couldn't begin to tell you.
Well, I just, since we're on that subject, my cousin from Chicago, Herbie, he looks a lot like you, Alex. So now everybody knows.
Ooh.
Okay.
Women chase him all down the street and want to get into his pants. And so
I was talking last night with oh boy, my mind is
Shaki?
No, what's his name?
Steve Kravitz.
Steve Kravitz.
Oh, yeah.
About my lack of knowledge of sports, and my lack of caring. But I failed to mention at the time, because I like to mention it, is that I am the possessor of a sports Emmy.
Possessor of a what?
Sports
Emmy.
He has an Emmy.
You have a sports Emmy?
A sports
I have an Emmy.
That's
for sports.
right.
Yes, I have a sports
Primetime Emmy.
Not prime time.
No, it's a local Emmy in the Bay Area.
How come we never saw it?
Well,
we've seen it. We've seen it.
Yes,
I've
we've seen it many times.
No, I've only brought it onto this show about once.
Why did they?
Once? No.
Once a week.
Why did they give it to you?
Shall I go get it?
Okay, bye. Good night, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Just tell us why they gave it to you.
Because I won it.
Oh.
It was a good reason. He told us the whole story. Yeah.
Yeah, I was on they have a thing in San Francisco called the Beta Breakers, which is a race.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And every year, KPIX TV station does the Beta Breakers, the race, and then they have a Beta Breakers wrap-up show. And I did a piece on the wrap-up show about my guide to how you survive the Beta Breakers race, and it's me with a bunch of I got a bunch of strippers from a local strip joint, and they're following me around, and I'm with them in a limousine, going along the way, giving stuff. I could show it to you if you want me to.
Oh no!
A well-deserved
yeah, show it to us.
No, if
you earned it.
If you saw the piece, you would agree. I think it's one of the best things I ever did. Okay.
Let's see.
I wish Trump was back.
I loved it.
I miss Trump. I miss Trump already.
Show it to us, Alex. Show it to us.
Put it on the website or something.
Well, I can't. Maybe I'll put it up on. I'll put it up on Facebook. But anyway, so I
don't have Facebook.
So this show, the show I was on, won an Emmy. Okay, and it won an Emmy for all the performers on that show. So I was one of the performers, so I got an Emmy with my name on it.
Did the strippers get Emmys too?
No, just
Those
me.
girls were gorgeous.
Did the girls get the Emmys too?
Huh?
Did the girls get their Emmys too?
Did the girls get the Emmys as well?
Through the show. That was after the wrap-up show.
No.
Yeah.
No. But anyway,
No?
so here's what happened. So anyway,
Only the talent gets the Emmy.
I said the next year I got nominated again, but this time it wasn't for sports. It was for a computer show I was on, for the pieces that I did. And that's the one I'm most proud of because that's for my performance as a person on a show. And yes, thank you very much. And so I have two. I'm a two-time Emmy Award winner.
Ooh, was that Alex Bennett Wired Again?
No, that one they actually when I did Alex Bennett Wired Again, which by the way, if you want to see it, it's on Roku on our Gabnet TV, and I think it's also on my regular Gabnet too as well. That one when I did Wired Again, a TV show, an hour-long TV show for Channel 44 in San Francisco, it was so bad that they actually asked me to give back my 2 Emmys.
Wow.
They said it may be the worst. I put it up and I said it's the worst special ever done. Horrible show, just ghastly. There's maybe one part of it I like and I'd be happy to show. But
it was like a whole half-hour show, though, wasn't it? It was
a whole hour.
Yeah, a whole hour.
An hour of just horrible stuff.
You should have just brought Slayton on and a bunch of comedians and just started doing stand.
I hired this guy to write it. We hired this guy to write it and direct it, and the whole thing just, After I did that, there's one piece in that show that I liked where I was running around the marina, talking to people and doing stuff about the marina, and that worked. So I learned that when I went and did Log On TV, that's probably what I should be doing, is something like that. It was the most horrible special ever, and I'm proud of it. So if you go to Gabnet TV on Roku, you'll find Alex Bennett Wired Again, restored, by the way, because what happened was we had to change the name of it because Wired magazine said we couldn't infringe on their trademark. And it wasn't infringement on their trademark because the term wired means you're hopped up, right? And
Yeah.
and you know, I was getting high all the time. So it was Alex Bennett wired again. All right.
Yeah.
Had no although we did do some things about technology in it, it wasn't a technology show. So they threatened to sue if we ran it as Alex Bennett wired again. And the people at Channel 44 said, look, we could let them sue us and then we would have to defend it and then it would cost us a lot of money. Meanwhile, we wouldn't be able to play the show anyway. So why don't we just scratch out the word wired on the title? So we just scratched it out, literally, and ran the show. And what I did is I found some promos that were done for the show as Wired Again. So I took the slides from those promos, the logo for the show from those, and then I sliced them into the current one that's on Gabnet TV on Roku. And that is the restored version with the original title. So I rest my case. The best thing about that show was the first part of it, my mother. She opens the show, and you know, and she does this whole bit about, you know, Alex Bennett is this show stars my son Alex Bennett, and be sure to ask me first before you decide on having children. She was wonderful. She was wonderful on it. I mean, I wish there was some way I could just play it for you now, or some parts of it, but there's no. I can't do that. So. What the hell? Who did we just lose? Did we lose somebody?
Vernon.
Vernon.
Yes, one person.
Oh, we lost Vernon?
Yeah, we lost Vernon. There you go. Yeah.
So stuff like Biden's not wasting any time reversing few Trump stuff.
Well, I said to Marjorie, I said, I bet today he you know. By the way, Vernon, if you're out there, call back, will you? Please call back. I don't think he was bored or anything, you know.
Alex hung up on you. You're bored.
God knows we've been more boring than this, and he's stuck around. So, no, I told Marjorie. I said, I bet he goes back to the office and signs a whole bunch of things today, and he did.
Yeah, he did.
A pile of them like this.
Yeah.
And he signed them. We're back with the accords on climate change.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to go back to the nuclear deal on Iran, but I think he wants to, you know, reapproach Iran and get that whole thing going again. What else did he do? He did one other thing that was major. Oh, he stopped the construction on the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How can he do that? How can he do that when it's already completed? It's too late.
It's going to sell it.
What's he doing?
Well,
he did the mandate masks, 100 days mask wearing challenge for transportation and federal facilities.
Yeah.
And he extended the moratorium on student loan payments.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that helps me.
I mean, these were things that were no brainer. You know, all he was just reversing stuff that Trump had done. Oh, he also reversed the Muslim ban.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
Yeah. So this has got to be.
He accepted the agreement with what, European people that we're friends of them again? Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, we remember.
We're going to rejoin NATO.
NATO, that's.
Oh, and who?
Oh, that was the World Health
Wait a
Organization.
minute. Here's
World Health Organization, and I think what's his name's going tomorrow or right away.
Yeah, here's
to the next meeting.
Here's Vernon again. Vernon, what were some of the things that he signed today?
One was rescinded the permit for the pipeline.
Yeah.
Keystone Pipeline.
He also put a moratorium on any leases in the Arctic wildlife drilling in the Arctic wildlife.
Very good. Very good.
Environmental stuff,
Yeah. Already he's been in office one day or half a day. And actually was there just for a couple of hours, and already he's done more than Donald Trump did in 4 years.
4 years.
But there's going to be a lot of stuff to undo. You know,
Yeah.
it's gonna take quite a while.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't think it needs to be the priority, but it's becoming more and more apparent to me that the District of Columbia needs to be a state, and so does Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Let me ask you this though: have you tonight? They of course kept showing shots of the White House. Did it look cleaner? Somehow
They spent
it just
$500,000. The GAO spent $500,000 refurbishing the White House after Trump left.
Yeah.
Oh
They spent 5 hours going inch by inch.
But he
They had to get all the orange hair dye stains out of the carpet.
Yeah, but
and all the backs of the chairs.
Yeah, but you know something that
All the gold toilets.
Well, no, but the thing is, the gold curtains are still there.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to get rid of them. That's just a matter of he couldn't get these people couldn't get in there to do anything. You know, I think they just had to tell people just get rid of everything that's his. You know what they got rid of, and it was the one thing that I think spoke just miles, spoke just about everything about Trump and his
all the McDonald's wrappers.
No.
All the ketchup, the little ketchup thingies.
I don't know if any of you noticed this over the years, but I noticed it constantly. The K-cup rack in back of him.
Oh.
Did you ever notice the K-cup rack?
In the Oval Office?
There was a rack there with K-cups in it.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
You know, he couldn't leave that in the break room.
McDonald's and Taco Bell coffee?
Who knows?
Might have been Dunkin' Donuts, you know.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts.
They actually make K-cups.
They do.
For Dunkin' Donuts, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But anyways, it's
It's a quiet show, Alex. You know.
Yeah, it is a quiet show, and that's
well,
good.
Where's
that's
the sergeant at arms?
You're
yeah,
right.
No meeting.
Oh,
today.
jeez. Well, we still have Dr. Doom here.
Oh, has he given his report already?
I mean, now that I got my shot, go ahead, give it your best shot.
Well, we topped 4,000 dead today again for the third time.
Okay.
Yeah.
4,261.
You know what gets me? I got a thing from Phil. Him getting his COVID shot today.
Thank you.
And I'm going, how does he get a COVID shot so easily? I mean, it seems like in California they're giving them away, you know, at McDonald's. You know,
right.
He had his prostate yanked out, Alex.
How? No.
Oh yeah, maybe.
No, I mean he's over 65.
That's a comorbidity.
No, he's over 65, so he fits. You know, he can do it. But how did he get such a fast appointment? I mean, here, if I want another appointment, it's not till like April, right? That's why I had to sign up today so fast to get my just the time I got for the second shot, which is going to be 5 weeks away instead of 4. You know, but they had a thing there. They said it's okay if you go 5-6 weeks, doesn't matter. You know, in fact, I read today that really you don't have to. It could well be they don't know, but that with the first shot of the Moderna, you may have be afforded something like 80% protection, maybe upwards as high as that. It's less on the Pfizer. However, they give you 4 times as much stuff in the shot with the Moderna as they do with the Pfizer. You know, so
4 times the CCs.
Yeah,
it's just the density of the chemistry.
It could be. It could be any one of a number of things. But anyway, the fact of the matter is that I read that 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 you can actually have, after 12 days, a certain amount of protection against COVID with just the first shot. And that's why in England, they're waiting 12 weeks to give everybody the second shot, saying that if we wait 12 weeks to give everybody the second shot, we can give more people the first shot. Because it's the same shot. It's not like the second shot is a different formulation or whatever. Is this what you've heard, Brian?
Yeah. Just same.
Yeah.
It's like a booster.
So they figure you can wait at least 12 weeks. And so they're waiting for the 12 weeks, and they say you've got enough, it affords you enough protection that people will probably not get COVID. Or if you get it, you won't get it as horribly, as horribly as you normally would. Do you hear any of this, Brian, in your neck of the woods?
Not my neck of woods, but on the news, same thing I hear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my doctor says don't change your behavior just because you got the shot.
Oh, no. I'm not going out and like licking lampposts, okay? You know.
So they have a new law in California that companies have to alert their employees if they have people that are testing positive. So we have like 8 buildings in Sunnyvale, and so we're almost, well, I should say it. So we get information when they do have them, but I'm trying to talk to upper management because they're not, I don't think they're doing a good job at contact tracing, because people go from building to building all the time and stuff like that. So we're hearing, rumors about people getting it, and we're like, wow, I was with that person reviewing records or something. So it's not perfect, but it's still spiking around here really bad.
Yeah. Oh, it's
by
spiking.
the way, one of the first executive actions that Biden signed says, if you enter federal property, you got to wear a mask.
Yeah.
And transportation.
Yeah. And do you know that at the White House now, I heard this is one reporter on MSNBC said, oh, and now I have one of these, and it was a blue band. And they say you get the blue band when you get tested for COVID, but you have to be tested every time before you go into the White House. And then they give you the blue band, or maybe the next day it's a red band or whatever. And they're not letting anybody in who hasn't been tested. I mean, and I watched that whole thing today, and they did a pretty good job of keeping everybody away from everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Did I hear that Ted Cruz was at the?
Yep.
He was at the inauguration.
Boy, he got nerve.
He was one of the people.
Huh?
He was one of the people that voted not to accept the electoral vote.
Yeah,
hey,
right.
Did anybody watch Trump's little party at the airport this morning?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
17 people
showed up. How many?
17 people showed up.
No,
more than that.
And half of them were his family.
That's right.
I was choking up. I don't know about you.
I can imagine.
I was in a big project today. We're in the building, and there's like 10 of us, everyone social distancing, all stuff. And the lady had to come over here to ask me a couple questions, and I happened to be watching Trump at that time, right when she walked up. And she just stared at me, evil stare. I said, I just want to see him say goodbye. She goes, I don't even waste my time even looking at him anymore.
Well, it was, I mean, he did a whole thing with this. He did
bragging about all his success.
He did the 21 gun salute, didn't he?
Yeah.
Too bad he didn't get shot.
Yeah, well, I know they should have aimed it at him.
That's right.
It's amazing how much damage this guy did in the last 4 years. I mean, it just. Hi, how are you?
Hey.
How can he live with himself knowing that literally the whole fucking world hates him? I mean, the only people that really like him are these, hillbillies and
sycophants.
It's like, how can you live with yourself?
This is how stupid those hillbillies are. Is that they think Trump likes them. It isn't like Trump's moving to Kentucky, okay? Trump's moving to Mar-a-Lago.
At least for now.
And
he can't live there permanently.
Yeah, no, I know.
And he pardoned the guy that was ripping them off, you know?
Yeah.
They're so stupid.
Did he pardon anybody that's important?
Lil Wayne.
Well, Little Wayne.
Lil Wayne, yeah.
Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan got a Medal of Freedom.
Well, he got a Medal of Freedom, but he didn't get pardoned.
Well, we haven't found out what he's done yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, he didn't do Ivanka, and he didn't do Jared, and he did. Did he do Giuliani?
Well, wait a minute now. If he did Ivanka and Jared, he'd be bisexual.
Yeah.
No, we're
He'd
not
lose
talking
the
about that
evangelicals
kind.
on that one.
That's not what we were talking about when we said do it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
We were
That's another
referring
drink.
to an entirely different thing. Okay, all right. So anyway, so yeah. So I mean, they say he does not have to say who he pardoned.
That's right.
That it doesn't have to be announced unless the people who are pardoned want to say they were. You know, and I don't know why. You know, I mean,
he did pardon Steve Bannon on the last day.
Well, we do know he pardoned Steve Bannon
last night
and Lil Wayne, and but I would have thought that he would have pardoned Giuliani.
Yeah.
You know, because I think Giuliani is probably the most susceptible to being in trouble after this is all over.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think if anybody was a insurrectionist in that whole scenario, you could argue whether what Trump said was insurrection or not insurrection, or whether it was causing a riot or not causing a riot. I think he did, and he did. He said all the words you need to say to get somebody to go out and ransack Nancy Pelosi's office. Okay, but it's all open for interpretation. The stuff Giuliani was saying was, you know, absolutely
trial by combat.
Trial by combat, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. But I guess he didn't pardon him.
I don't understand why Don Jr. wasn't arrested on the 6th.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're absolutely correct.
Even worse than Rudy, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what this means? We can charge him with something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They're all going to have to deal with their crimes. I just think that we've had just such a corrupt administration and such a bad 4 years that it just feels like I just took a bath today, and after getting really dirty, it's just sad. It's just sad. It's sad. I just didn't think. As I go back, and I always like to tell the story about Marjorie waking up in the middle of the night and saying, who won the election? And I said, Donald Trump. And she said, oh, my God. And I said, well, don't worry. Maybe he'll turn out to be better than we believed. I mean, how much can you ruin a country in 4 years? Well, I guess I was wrong, because we found out. And the damage that was done to this democracy by someone who had no idea it was a democracy. It was just disgusting.
He couldn't even spell democracy.
Yeah,
that's right. Well, Vernon, your take on it. I mean, you've been like Mr. Politics all this time. Now you got nothing to bitch about.
Well, I'll have to come up with something.
You'll come up with something.
The bad news this week.
Mm-hmm.
The lady who cuts my hair came down positive.
Oh.
So now the next little while, as I'm on your show, I may start looking like Scott Boddicker.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I mean,
that little ponytail.
That kind of Willie Nelson look.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
My wife says, well, why don't you get one of the other ladies at the salon to cut your hair? And I said, no, only one person cuts my hair.
Yeah, wow.
Been there. Yeah.
And I've used her for my haircuts for 20 years.
Well, now this woman was cutting hair, right? So is that how she caught it?
I don't think so. I think she may have caught it away from the shop, because when she was in the shop, she was wearing a mask the whole time.
Yeah. So you were safe from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
It may have been like Tony's situation, you
what
know,
I want
where a
is-
family member comes in and they think
Yeah.
they're in a safe bubble and they take off their mask.
Well, what I want is for for Pfizer and Moderna to really ramp up this stuff so that we really have just more doses than we'll ever need. Okay.
Didn't Biden say he was going to use that
Defense
that
Production
special
Act.
to have them
Yeah, the Defense Production Act.
ramp it up?
Ramp it up. The other thing is that, of course, we're going to have probably Johnson and Johnson coming into the fray here shortly.
And
That will help things out. And then AstraZeneca.
AstraZeneca might too.
They say April for AstraZeneca. Although it's being used in England now, so it should be enough for the CDC to say, well, if it's good enough for England, it's good enough for us. You know.
Oh, there's Rocky.
And there's Rocky. One wonderful
I
animal.
think that's the biggest problem all these companies are going to have, just like we have, with the testing. Bringing up another factory isn't easy, and even when we have emergency use only, it's still, we can only do so much in a certain window. So all these
and
other
raw materials might be a restriction too.
100%. That's one of the main things. Even if they have a factory, or they can increase hours and more plants doing this instead of that, the raw materials becomes a big issue.
But when is the CDC going to say, okay, it's no longer for emergency use? I mean, how long does that take?
Avian flu we were doing in September to the end of the year 2009, and then we had till April to have all of our testing done and submitted.
Yeah.
So I guess like 6 months or so.
Yeah, but I mean, didn't they do all their testing and present it to the CDC, and the CDC gave them only emergency use?
Mm-hmm.
Because I got this thing. Let me see if I can read it for you here.
Scott just wrote on the chat that he took offense to my comment.
Who?
Scott Boddicker.
Oh.
Hey, Vernon.
Well, tell me he's got to call in if he wants to defend himself.
That's right.
Yeah.
You wish you looked like Dave Grohl. What was that? This is a PDF that I got here. And it says, you're being offered the Moderna vaccine to prevent coronavirus, blah, 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 blah. It says, Moderna is a vaccine that may prevent you from getting COVID-19. There is no U.S. Food or Drug Administration approved vaccine to prevent COVID-19. Is that true? Is that really how they look at it?
Yeah, it's not 100%. It's
not 100%.
Whatever the hell it is.
They said that.
They're saying 95% though.
They haven't approved the vaccines. They're for emergency use only.
Yeah, so
they're not for sale.
So they can't say that it's for use in preventing COVID-19, but they hope that's the case.
According to the data.
According to the data, yeah.
Remember, you can still get the virus. I mean, the virus can still go in your body. You can still catch it from somebody.
And you can pass it on.
Exactly. You can pass it on. But the mRNA has already told those cells what to look for and when it comes to attack it. So that's what it'll do. It'll attack it, and then it won't have them show symptoms.
Okay,
but then like Vernon says, they can still spread it. So
in other words, I got the vaccine. If I get the second vaccine, then the chances are pretty good that I am not going to be I'm not going to get a case of COVID, right?
You're not going to get sick from it, right?
You won't get sick from it.
Won't get sick from
Right,
COVID.
you won't get sick from it.
But I will get COVID.
You can get COVID.
You could.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
MRSA is like the same thing. MRSA, you can get that on your body, but you don't want to get it in your skin or anything. Like operations, they get staph infections. You can get it on your body, but
okay. But what I'm saying is what you seem to be implicating. I can't talk today. I'm sorry. What you seem to be implying is that you can still get it. But that doesn't mean you're going to have symptoms. You're going to be asymptomatic, and you can still spread it to somebody else.
Yeah.
So
because those red balls are going to come into your cells, and your cells already have a picture of what that looks like. Yeah. It sees that, and it's going to attack that.
Okay.
That's the M part of it. It's the
And I
memory
am
part.
right when I say this is a whole new kind of science we're dealing in, right?
Yes.
I mean, this is not a. Is calling it a vaccine
Well,
the right
No.
thing to do?
RNA.
No, it's mRNA.
Not a
And the
vaccine.
thing is, when Trump sits there like he did 2 days ago and says, "Oh, we did this so fast. It was never done before," and blah blah blah, it's because there's a whole different technology.
Well, also from
it's
what
like wow, I got to San Francisco so quickly, faster than anybody. Well, I drove a car for the first time ever, and people were still walking.
And he didn't have anything to do with it anyway.
I know.
No,
Yeah,
of
it
course
was not
not.
part of
But-
Operation
but-
Warp
but-
Speed.
Yeah, but the thing is that from what I understand, this is a technology we've had for about 18 years, and it's just kind of been sitting there without something to use it on. Is that am I right or wrong about that?
Yeah, mRNA's been around for a while, but
Yeah.
I don't know. They haven't used it before. We were using PCR for Zika and for everything else that was coming through, the swine flu and all that stuff. That was the big first flu.
So
for
this
us.
this was sitting on the shelf, and they just said, "Hey, this might work. Let's see what it does."
If there is something that comes through like that, that's what I believe.
How will this apply to future diseases and stuff like that? Will they be able to use this same thing or with modification?
I'm sure they will.
Yeah,
I'm sure they will.
But
just like us,
Coronavirus,
what we do is we take DNA and we actually use a primer and a probe to separate it, and we try to glue it back together. And we try to do that 3-4 million times in 25 microliter tube, and try to see if we can see the DNA expand. If we do, then we know that it's that disease.
They tried this with my face, and that's why it's still ugly. But yeah, I mean,
So I mean, all that kind of technology is out there, but sometimes you don't have anything to use it for. Then I guess.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a whole new thing, and I just kind of think they were wrong in calling it a vaccine because it isn't. A vaccine is usually something they give you, which is a small dose of whatever they're trying to prevent you from having, so your body then builds antibodies. This is an entirely different thing where your system gets the information to go and combat something that's coming in.
Yeah, there's some good.
And by
there's some good-
calling it a vaccine, they're then getting a lot of people frightened. Like,
they
can
don't
I get COVID from this? Well, we're not giving you COVID.
Right. Yeah.
But you're giving me a vaccine, isn't the measles vaccine? Doesn't it have measles in there? Yes. So they shouldn't be calling it a vaccine. They should be calling it something else, just so people don't confuse it and might be not as reluctant to use it.
I think if Trump wasn't in office and Biden was, he would have been pro-vaccine, and a lot more people would have survived.
Right.
And people would be lining up to get the vaccine.
Yeah.
How far is this going to go, do you think, the death toll? Are we going to hit, we're at 400,000 now, we're going to hit 500,000?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, you just
Probably
depressed.
before my
Said
wife's
500,000 by April.
What? What?
500,000 by April.
I think we'll hit 500,000 before the
It
end of
might even
February.
be sooner than that.
Wow.
Well, we're still
March.
averaging
So are we-
3,000 a day.
Are we going to hit 500,000 first, or Melania and Donald going to be separated? Which one?
Well,
Under or
that's-
over?
that's
Come on.
that's a good
You're starting a
question.
pool, Brian?
That's a good
No, we
question.
started one last night.
Ah.
Yeah. I'm on September.
Oh,
You're-
did everybody hear about Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Major retailers like Bed Bath and
Yeah,
Beyond
good.
have dropped his pillows.
Kohl's as well. And
Kohl's
he's
as well.
he's complaining that they did it
Oh, he's
because
crying a
he
river.
was pro-Trump, and they said, no, we did it because your pillows aren't selling.
Yeah.
And-
Because you're
They're
pro-Trump.
overpriced. That's why.
Exactly.
Hey,
He
Pillows
could
do you
pay
need?
me to take one of his pillows.
yes, Mr. Larkin.
how do you guys like the new press secretary? I think she's pretty hot.
She's kind of cute.
And she's smart.
Oh, I don't know who that is yet.
Well,
Jen Psaki.
Yeah,
Her name is Jen Psaki.
Smart. And I think she's sexy. I do.
Oh, yeah.
Ginger.
Yeah.
Are
No,
you,
the
are you,
smart
are
part
you
will be
saying at last
a normal person.
a
Yeah.
press secretary we can
Yeah.
jerk off to? Is that what you're saying here?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, more or less.
Well,
okay.
you remember Sarah Palin, right? Well, she supposedly invented the term "gilf," governor. I'd like to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anybody said Sarah Palin invented that? They didn't meet or see Jennifer Granholm, Michigan, the former governor of Michigan. She was hot.
She was hot. Yeah.
And she's going to be in the Biden administration too.
Oh, really? A lot?
Wow.
Biden's awesome. Go Biden.
Go Biden. Yeah. Oh, well, it's going to be a whole different deal. I mean, like, look at tonight. What do we have to talk about?
Quiet. Everybody's falling asleep.
No, we're not. Are you falling asleep?
No, I'm awake.
Oh, okay. Well, stay
I'm watching
there.
Brian, though.
You're watching Brian?
No, because I look at my phone down here, and so it looks like I'm sleeping.
No, he's not sleeping. I've never had Brian fall asleep while I'm doing the show. It's too
only 9 o'clock.
It's too exciting.
Jennifer Granholm is going to be the new Secretary of the Department of Energy. You know, the department that Rick, what's his name from Texas, was going to get rid of.
Now, my last big question before we get rid of this program for tonight is do you think maybe the coast is clear enough to finally have Phil come back on?
Yeah.
What is he going to talk about?
That's a good question.
You know, I've got several people I work with at Home Depot who voted for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And I've already rehearsed my speech. The next time I encounter any of these guys, I've already rehearsed my speech. It says, "Look, I know you voted for the other guy. I know you thought he did a great job, but my brother, it's time to unify. We're still brothers."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a very nice way to put it. But I can't imagine that Phil would have anything to gripe about particularly now. Well, I mean, he could gripe about Biden.
He'll complain about Biden all show.
Yeah,
I guess.
Wow, he stuttered one word in 20 minutes of talking. Did you hear that? Unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah. Well, you know, and also, I mean, you got to remember that he's, you know, he needs to be impeached immediately.
Oh, there's going to be an article presented on tomorrow.
Yeah.
I
have no idea. What's it based on? He stuttered once today.
Him stealing the election. That's what
QAnon. He was.
Oh man.
QAnon
based
thing.
on him stealing the election.
Well, she's the QAnon lady, right?
Yeah,
She's the QAnon.
It won't go anywhere.
Yeah, but she's the
she'll
QAnon.
She'll make a splash and then it'll fade away.
She's the QAnon lady. Yeah. Or that's what she's known as. Hey, there's the theme, and I stayed awake. Okay?
Yeah.
And Tony, if you're listening, I've yet to have my arm hurt. No, doesn't hurt.
You could end up with other side effects in a day or two. Feeling tired, a lot of different
Oh, I'm
things.
tired all the time. Okay, so what's new?
I know the feeling, and I'm younger than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brian, when are we going to go jogging?
Oh, yeah. Maybe Friday. We'll talk.
Yeah,
I'm getting old, too.
Here we go.
Clean out the
lungs. That's all I
I like the taste.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. Good having you here. Alan, always good to have you here. And, of course, Rocky and his friend Bullwinkle. Thank you for being here, Trucker Steve. Also, Charlie Wallace, thank you. Brian Neary, and, of course, John Larkin, and the lovely and attractive Vernon Nunn. Why don't all of you give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye back at you, okay? There they go, folks. That's our citizen panel for tonight. Stay tuned now for Jack Bishop. He's next with The Intersection. Over most of the same GabNet. I'll be back again tomorrow night. Same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her. And by the way, be safe out there. And every one of you wear a goddamn mask, okay? Good night, and happy first day of Biden.